So why, after using Regal Unlimited for the better part of almost 2 years, why did I finally decide that I was going to unsubscribe, that I was going to cancel it and never look back? The reason actually has completely nothing to do with the service. The service itself is actually a really good deal. You see 2 movies, it pays for itself in full. You get discounts on drinks and snacks and popcorn. You sometimes, and I mean sometimes, I had this for 2 years and I only got 1 early screening. Sometimes you get an early screening of a popular movie. The one that I got was Anybody But You with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. Nevertheless, I digress. The reason that I unsubscribed has everything to do with the modern theater experience and really nothing to do with Regal's offerings in Regal Unlimited. This is going to be a little bit of a different video than I'm used to putting on my channel. I like to remain positive. I like to put out positive things on the internet because, let's face it, there is plenty of negativity going around that I don't really need to add to. But I feel like this is something that if I didn't mention, if I didn't make this video about, that I would feel a little bit ingenuine and disconnected, because I'm somebody that wants to put out movie reviews. I'm somebody that wants to talk about going to the theater and watching films. The movie-going experience is part of that, and every year it's getting worse and worse and worse. And if I'm to come on here and do a review of a movie and say, yeah, this movie is great, and in fact I recommend you guys to leave your house, maybe get a babysitter, drive about 15 minutes, pay $16 for a ticket, $30 for a popcorn and a drink and a soda, and sit down and watch it in the theater, even though I know that's probably not going to be the best experience, then I don't feel comfortable doing that on my channel. So yes, I'm hijacking this concept and this, thumbnail and title in order to talk about what really bothers me when going to the theaters nowadays, and that is the modern movie-going experience. Take, for example, the Minecraft movie. Take, for example, the Minions movie, where people dressed up and they had to actually close down some screenings because it was getting out of hand.
Here's something you've never seen. Teens dressed to the nines just to go to the movie. Not everyone is thrilled.
People were throwing bananas.
Cops were called to this theater after some teens became rowdy and threw bananas.
I'm kicking you all out without a refund.
Another example would be the Wicked screenings, when people went to Wicked and found it upon themselves to sing, and I'm sure it wasn't even very good, out loud during the movie experience with other people around them who probably were ripping their hair out because it's so annoying that people are so self-conceited that they think that they can do whatever they want in public, disregarding everybody else's experience. The theater to me is a place where you can go, you can forget about everything going on in your life, and you can sit down from an hour to 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. I'm looking at you, Endgame. And be transported to a world that gives you just a little bit of happiness. And I know that's like a very artsy, very foo-foo way of talking about it, and most people probably don't look at it that way, but for those of us that really enjoy films and really enjoy movies and what they can provide us, the best place to experience that for the longest time has been in the movie theater. And I want it to be that way. I want it to be that way again. Leaving with some inspiration rather than like, oh my God, thank God I can leave because that person was so annoying. I'm going to run out of here and I'm going to talk about it for 30 minutes after with my significant other, and we're going to rip them apart privately. That's not fun. That's not a fun time. So with all of that said, and with all of this stuff getting off of my chest, and it feels very good to talk about this, trust me. What can we do to fix this? What can we do as a community? Because obviously you clicked on this video, you care about movies in some extent or the other. So what can we do to make this a little bit better, hopefully in the future, so that it just incrementally gets back to where it used to be? I think it's as simple as calling out those people. I think it's as simple as if somebody's talking in the theater, even if it's uncomfortable for you to do, I think you should get up and you should tell them to be quiet. Do a 3-strike policy. Tell them once. If you have to, tell them twice. On the third time, go out to the lobby, get a worker, tell them to come in there and pull them out. And if the theater doesn't do that, don't ever go back to that theater, because that's a place that doesn't really care about movies, and they don't value your experience. They would rather have somebody pay $16 a ticket and sit in the auditorium and talk and do whatever they want so that they can get their money. And on the topic of theaters caring, I think another thing that we have to do is put pressure on the theaters, on the companies, on the people who run the auditoriums to actually care about the movie-going experience. And I have a little bit of a story about this because I've recently started doing this channel, and I started going to early screenings of movies. So every time you go to one of these theaters, there's maybe like 2 to 3 seats open. It's a full house. It's kind of a unique experience in 2025 because most theaters aren't packed. Usually what they do is at the beginning of the screening, the host comes out and informs you, hey, put your phones away. Don't just put them on silent. Turn them off. Put them in your pocket. If you take them out, we're going to confiscate your phone, send it to the studio in LA, and search your phone for any content on it relating to the movie. And if we do find content relating to the movie on your phone, it is either a $10,000 fine or, I think, 2 years in prison. That's something that is a major deterrent. And you know what I've never seen in the 3 screenings that I've been to? A cell phone. I've never seen a single person have their cell phone out. So that eliminates the cell phone problem. If you just inform them of the legislation that is already in place, you just have to enforce it or threaten to enforce it. You want to take care of the people talking? Do what they also do at screenings where they have somebody down in the auditorium standing there, who's, getting a free movie experience, but also watching the theater and the auditorium and the audience to make sure that nobody's being obnoxious. And I get it. Theaters have a lot of showings all throughout the day. It's kind of unrealistic to have somebody in there at all times. But they don't have to do that. They could just have somebody that walks in, stays down there for 10 to 20 minutes, and walks out. What person who seeks employment at a movie theater wouldn't want to pop in there and get 20 minutes of a free movie? I just feel like there's more that theaters can do and that they will do on special events. Going to these screenings and making these videos about movies has renewed my excitement and my enjoyment and me looking forward to actually going to the theater. Because the experience when you go to a screening is 10 times better than any public screening you could ever go to. And it shouldn't be that way. The theater experience for the everyday person should be the same for the people who go to the screenings, which, by the way, are completely free. I don't pay when I go to screenings. I watch a free movie. People who are paying $16, $17, sometimes $18 for a movie ticket are getting a worse experience than the people like me who go to a free screening. Why is that a reality? Why is that a thing? So in the end, guys, to wrap this up and to kind of put a bow on all these thoughts, Regal Unlimited is actually a really good service. If you do enjoy movies, you should probably buy it. It's a good deal. It will save you a lot of money. 2, we really need to improve the movie-going experience so that the art form and that the places that we enjoy don't just evaporate and be relics of history. 3, there's a lot of really good things that we can do. Treat public screenings like you do private screenings. If you're paying $16 for a ticket, you should get the same experience that I do when I go to a free screening. And 4, as always, thank you guys for watching. I know this is a little bit of a different video, and there probably won't be many more like it on my channel. I don't like getting on here and ranting. It's nice to get this off my chest, but I want to put positivity on the internet. I want to talk about fun things like movies and trailers and movie news. I don't want to talk about the negatives. But in order for me to talk about those positives and to give you recommendations that you trust and respect, I also have to give you the other side. And unfortunately, the other side right now is not very positive. So with all that said, thank you guys for watching. Here's to the future. Hopefully it gets better. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.